Hey everyone, and welcome to Unit 8 of your confirmation journey. We are so glad that you've made it this far. I'm Jonathan Zeller, the 5th through 8th grade family life lead here at Hosanna, and with me I have Darren, who is one of our pastors here. And we are so glad that you've made it this far in the confirmation journey. At whatever pace you are taking, figuring out who God is, what He's done for you, and what we believe here at Hosanna. So we get into Unit 8, which is baptism. Pastor Darren, would you tell us what baptism is?
Well, that's like a big question to ask, but it's really simple. Baptism is a promise that God gives us in a specific way. It's a distribution of His grace to us, but a visible sign so that we can always remember it. And what it means for us is that we have full life in Jesus, that He is connected to us. We, as it says in Romans 6, we're united with Jesus in His death and in His resurrection. It means nothing can separate us from the love of God. It's all these wonderful things, but basically it's God's promise to us that He calls us His children, and nothing can take that away.
Yeah, and it's that good reminder that baptism is something God is doing, and it's nothing that we are doing ourselves to claim our spot in God's family or anything. It's that mark that He puts on us.
Yes. Yeah, and this is why in the Lutheran Church, and we baptize infants because we know that we are all dependent on God. It's nothing to do with what we're doing. If you're baptized as an adult, it's the same thing. That God is the one who's at work. We do not make a commitment to God. My great mentor, Pastor Glade, that was one of the first things he taught me about grace, is that we do not live by our commitment to God. We live by God's commitment to us. And that is such a blessing to know. Baptism is kind of a sense of assurance. It's security and understanding that God is the one who's at work doing all the good things for us to give us new life.
I think on top of that, baptism really kind of gives us a couple of things in its importance. The first thing is that it gives us that identity, right? It's God's claim on us and the grace that He's given to us, and that identity as children of God. And we can walk that and live that on a daily basis, and recognize that same claim that God has on every human that He's created. It brings us into a different relationship with God and with people. And the second thing that I think is put in there is just this idea of belonging, and just that once you've been claimed and once you are a part of the family, that you always belong, and you belong to God and to God's family, and just gives you a place, right, and a people, and He calls us His, and it's just an awesome feeling to have that belonging. And that baptism, whether it was when you were 6 weeks old, or in the hospital, or when you're 85, or maybe you haven't been baptized, and if that's the case, make sure you reach out to the staff here at Hosanna, and we'll get you connected to the right people to make that happen. And from there, we'll take you into kind of your journal, right? So in your confirmation journal in Unit 8, you've got a couple of lessons. In here, you're going to really get into more about what baptism is, what it means to you. You'll talk about an interview. You'll do an interview with somebody who's been baptized and what that means to them. And you also dig into the Bible and to the Catechism, just to understand even more so about what we think here at Hosanna about what baptism is, who it's for, and all those sorts of things. So we are excited that you guys are jumping into Unit 8, and we hope that it is a huge blessing to you as you go through it.
Probably last thing, he knows I'm always going to say one more thing. But the last thing is that this is honestly a good, visible reminder for you that you belong to God, and something that you can do every day, even before you get into this. It's just to remember that when you were baptized in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, with the water and the Word, and you can do that every day as the reassurance that you're never too far from God. He is always there with you. Nothing separates you from Him. Great reminder every day of your baptism.
Blessings on Unit 8.
Have fun.